The discovery. The vast emptiness of space stretched out before the UES horizon, humanity's most advanced deep space exploratory vessel. Captain Elena Rodriguez stood on the bridge, her dark eyes fixed on the holographic display that showed their current position in uncharted territory. Status report, Lieutenant Chen, Elena commanded, her voice steady despite the excitement bubbling beneath her calm exterior. Lieutenant Sarah Chen, the ship's census officer, responded promptly. All systems nominal, Captain. We're approaching the coordinates of the anomaly we detected earlier. ETA 5 minutes. Elena nodded, a small smile tugging at the corner of her lips. This was why she had joined the United Earth Space Force, the thrill of discovery, the chance to push the boundaries of human knowledge. The Horizon had been on its mission for over 2 years, venturing further into the galaxy than any human ship before it. As they neared their destination, the bridge crew grew increasingly tense. Dr. Marcus Adebayo, the ship's xenobiologist, joined them, his eyes gleaming with anticipation. "Any theories on what we might find, Doctor?" Elena asked, glancing at the enthusiastic scientist. Marcus shook his head, barely containing his excitement. "Could be anything, Captain. A natural phenomenon, an undiscovered celestial body, or," he paused for dramatic effect, "evidence of alien civilization." The mere mention of alien life sent a ripple of excitement through the bridge. Humanity had yet to make contact with any extraterrestrial intelligence, despite decades of searching. The possibility, however remote, was enough to quicken pulses and spark imaginations. "Contact in 30 seconds, Sarah announced, her fingers dancing over her console. Elena straightened her uniform. "Prepare for full stop. Shields up, but weapons systems on standby. Let's not appear hostile if there's anyone out there to greet us." The Horizon decelerated smoothly, coming to a halt just as they entered visual range of the anomaly. What they saw left them all speechless. Floating serenely against the backdrop of stars was an enormous structure, easily dwarfing the horizon. Its design was like nothing they had ever seen, a series of interlocking rings surrounding a central sphere, all made of a material that seemed to shimmer and shift as they watched. "My God," Marcus whispered, breaking the stunned silence. "It's a space station, an alien space station." Elena's mind raced with the implications. This was it, the discovery of a lifetime, perhaps the most significant moment in human history since the first moon landing. Lieutenant Chen, full census sweep. "I want to know everything about that station. Dr. Adebayo, your insights would be appreciated. Commander Rees, prepare a boarding team. We're going to investigate." As the crew sprang into action, Elena couldn't help but feel a mix of excitement and apprehension. The station appeared to be abandoned, dormant for who knew how long. But appearances could be deceiving. "Captain," Sarah called out, her voice tinged with awe. "The station's composition. It's unlike anything in our database. The material seems to be some kind of advanced alloy, possibly self-repairing. And the energy readings, they're off the charts, but I can't pinpoint a source." Marcus was practically bouncing with excitement. "The technological implications are staggering. Just think of what we could learn." Elena nodded, her decision made. "Agreed. Commander Rees, you have a go for boarding operations, full environmental suits, and constant communication. At the first sign of danger, you pull out." "Understood." Commander Jack Rees, a veteran of countless missions, nodded grimly. "Crystal clear, Captain. We'll be careful." As the boarding team prepared, Elena couldn't shake the feeling that they were standing on the precipice of something monumental. The station hung before them, silent and mysterious, holding secrets that could revolutionize human understanding of the universe. Hours later, after meticulous preparation and countless equipment checks, the boarding shuttle detached from the horizon. Elena watched from the bridge as it approached the alien structure, her heart pounding with a mixture of anticipation and fear. "Boarding team, this is the captain," she said into the comm. "Remember your training, stay alert, and good luck. We're making history today." Commander Reed's voice crackled back. Understood, Captain. Approaching the station now. We've detected what appears to be an airlock or docking port. Initiating docking procedure. The entire bridge held its breath as they watched the shuttle maneuver towards the station. As it neared, a section of the alien structure seemed to ripple and part, revealing an opening that perfectly matched the shuttle's docking mechanism. "It's adapting to us," Sarah murmured in disbelief. The docking was smooth, almost as if the station itself was guiding them in. Once secure, the boarding team began their exploration. "We're in," Reeves reported. "The station's interior, it's incredible. The architecture is unlike anything I've ever seen. Corridors seem to shift and change as we move through them. Gravity and life support appear to be functional." As the team ventured deeper into the station, they encountered increasingly advanced technology. Holographic interfaces sprang to life at their approach, displaying information in an unknown language. Strange machines hummed with latent energy, their purpose a mystery. "Captain," Reeves called, his voice filled with wonder. "We've reached what appears to be the central chamber. There's some kind of core here. It's emitting energy patterns similar to what we detected externally, but magnified." Dr. Adebayo is beside himself. Elena could hear the scientist's excited chatter in the background. This technology, it's centuries, maybe millennia beyond our own. The potential applications are endless. As the team continued their exploration, Elena felt a growing sense of unease. The station was a technological marvel, yes, but its emptiness was unsettling. What had happened to its creators? Why had they abandoned such an advanced facility? Her musings were interrupted by an urgent call from Sarah. "Captain, I'm detecting multiple objects approaching at high speed. They just appeared out of nowhere." Elena's blood ran cold. Configuration? Unknown, but they're definitely ships. Large ones, and they're on an intercept course. Elena's mind raced. First contact scenarios had been drilled into them, but nothing could truly prepare them for this moment. "Boarding team, wrap it up. We may have company," she ordered. "Lieutenant Chen, open all frequencies. Let's try to communicate." As Sarah worked to establish contact, the approaching ships came into view. They were angular, almost predatory in design, bristling with what could only be weapons. Elena's hopes for a peaceful first contact began to dwindle. "No response to our hails, Captain," Sarah reported, her voice tense. The alien ships drew closer, their intentions becoming clear as they moved to surround the horizon and the station. Elena made her decision. "Boarding team, evacuate immediately. All hands, battle stations. It seems our first contact may not be as friendly as we hoped." As klaxons blared throughout the horizon, Elena steeled herself for what was to come. They had made the discovery of a lifetime, but it might just cost them everything. The real test of humanity's place in the cosmos was about to begin. First contact gone wrong. The bridge of the UES horizon was a flurry of activity as the crew prepared for potential conflict. Captain Elena Rodriguez's eyes darted between the tactical display showing the approaching alien vessels and the video feed from the boarding team's hasty retreat. "Boarding shuttle, what's your status?" Elena demanded, her voice taut with tension. Commander Ree's reply came through, punctuated by the sound of heavy breathing. "Almost there, Captain. We've got Dr. Adebayo's samples and as much data as we could download. ETA to docking 2 minutes." Elena nodded grimly. "Make it one. Our visitors aren't looking friendly." The alien ships had taken up aggressive positions around the horizon and the ancient station. Their designs were utilitarian and menacing, a stark contrast to the elegant, almost organic architecture of the derelict station. "Captain, we're being hailed," Lieutenant Chen announced, her fingers flying over her console. On screen, Elena ordered, straightening her uniform. The main view screen flickered to life, revealing a sight that made several crew members gasp. The alien before them was vaguely humanoid, but that's where the similarities ended. Its skin was a mottled gray-green, with what appeared to be bony plates covering vital areas. Multiple yellow eyes blinked independently, focusing on Elena with predatory intensity. Unidentified vessel, the alien's voice grated through the translator. You are trespassing in Krell space. The artifact you have accessed is now property of the Krell Dominion. Surrender your vessel and prepare to be boarded. Elena's mind raced. This was first contact, but not at all how they had imagined it. She took a deep breath, centering herself before responding. This is Captain Elena Rodriguez of the United Earth ship Horizon. We are on a peaceful mission of exploration and mean no harm. We were unaware this region was claimed territory. Perhaps we can discuss this and come to an understanding. The alien's expression, if it could be called that, didn't change. There is nothing to discuss. The artifact is ours. Your technology will make a suitable addition to our fleet. Comply or be destroyed. The transmission cut off abruptly, leaving the bridge in stunned silence. Well, so much for diplomatic relations, Elena muttered. Status on the boarding shuttle. As if in answer, the ship shuddered as the shuttle docked. Moments later, Commander Rees and his team burst onto the bridge, still in their EVA suits. Captain, you're not going to believe what we found in there, Rees began, but Elena cut him off with a raised hand. Save it, Commander. We've got more pressing issues. She turned to her tactical officer. Lieutenant Kovacs, what are we dealing with? Kovacs, a stocky man with a perpetual frown, responded promptly. 5 ships, Captain, each about twice our size. Energy readings suggest weapons far more advanced than ours. In a straight fight, he trailed off, the implication clear. Elena's mind raced through their options: fight and likely be destroyed, or surrender and face an unknown but certainly unpleasant fate. Neither was acceptable. Dr. Adebayo, she called to the xenobiologist who was still clutching his sample case. That data you downloaded. Any chance there's something in there that could help us? Marcus blinked, caught off guard. Possibly. The station's systems were incredibly advanced. We barely scratched the surface of. Work fast, Elena interrupted. We need an edge, and we need it now. As Marcus hurried to a nearby console, Elena turned back to the view screen. The Krell ships were moving into attack positions. Chen, get me shipwide, Elena ordered. Once the channel was open, she addressed her crew. All hands, this is the captain. We've made first contact, and it's not going well. But we're not going down without a fight. This is what we've trained for. Trust in each other, trust in this ship. We're about to show these aliens what humanity is made of. A chorus of affirmatives echoed through the ship. Elena allowed herself a small smile. Her crew was ready. Kovacs, evasive maneuvers. Chen, try to establish a link with the station's systems. If we can't have it, neither can they. Rees, I want options for unconventional warfare. The horizon came to life, thrusters firing as it began a complex dance among the stars. The first salvo from the Krell ship's streaked past, missing by mere meters. Return fire, Elena commanded. Target their weapons systems. The horizon's pulse lasers lashed out, scoring hits on the nearest Krell vessel, but the alien ship's shields flared, absorbing most of the impact. Minimal damage, Kovacs reported grimly. Their shields are too strong. The ship rocked as a Krell beam weapon found its mark. Alarms blared as damage reports flooded in. Shields down to 60%, Chen called out. Another hit like that, and we're in trouble. Elena gripped her chair, mind racing. They were outgunned and outnumbered. But humanity hadn't come this far to be stopped now. Captain, Marcus's excited voice cut through the chaos. I think I found something. The station's database, it contains schematics for some kind of energy modulation system. If we can adapt it to our shields. Do it, Elena ordered without hesitation. Engineering, work with Dr. Adebayo. I don't care if you have to rebuild half the ship, get that system online. As the engineering team scrambled to implement the alien technology, the battle raged on. The Horizon weaved through space, using the ancient station for cover when possible, but they were fighting a losing battle. Each exchange left them more damaged, while the Krell ships seemed barely scratched. "Shields critical," Chen reported, her voice strained. "We can't take another hit." Elena opened her mouth to order all power to engines, a last-ditch attempt to flee, when the ship suddenly hummed with a new energy. "Captain, the modulation system is online," Marcus called out, his voice filled with equal parts excitement and disbelief. "It's interfacing with our systems in ways I can't even begin to understand." Elena didn't waste time questioning their good fortune. "Reroute all available power to shields and weapons. Let's show these Krell what they're really dealing with." The next Krell blast struck the Horizon head-on, but instead of decimating the ship, it was absorbed, the shields flickering with otherworldly energy. "Shields holding," Chen exclaimed. "No, wait, they're actually getting stronger." Elena allowed herself a fierce grin. "Now it's our turn. Kovacs, target the lead ship. Full spread of quantum torpedoes." The Horizon's weapons blazed to life, enhanced by the alien technology. The torpedoes streaked towards the Krell vessel, its shields flaring as they tried to repel the attack. But these weren't the same weapons they had faced before. The torpedoes phased through the shields as if they weren't there, detonating against the ship's hull. The Krell vessel erupted in a spectacular explosion, leaving the remaining alien ships in disarray. "Open a channel," Elena commanded, her voice steady despite the adrenaline coursing through her veins. The alien captain appeared on screen once more, its multiple eyes wide with what Elena assumed was shock. "This is Captain Rodriguez. As you can see, we're not as helpless as you thought. I'm giving you one chance to retreat. Otherwise, we'll be forced to demonstrate more of what we've learned from our new artifact." There was a long pause, filled only by the tense breathing of the Horizon's crew. Finally, the alien spoke. You've mastered the precursor technology? Impossible." Elena allowed herself a small, satisfied smile. "Not impossible, just human ingenuity. What's your decision?" The alien's eyes darted back and forth, clearly weighing its options. Finally, it growled something that the translator rendered as a curse. "We will withdraw. But know this, humans, the Krell Dominion does not forget. We will meet again." The transmission cut off, and the remaining Krell ships began to retreat, their engines flaring as they disappeared into the depths of space. As the adrenaline of battle faded, Elena looked around her bridge. Her crew was battered, the ship was damaged, but they had survived. More than that, they had triumphed in humanity's first interstellar battle. "Well done, everyone," she said, her voice filled with pride. "But our mission isn't over. In fact, I think it's just beginning. Chen, set a course back to Earth. We need to report this to Command." As the Horizon limped away from the battlefield, the ancient station looming behind them, Elena couldn't help but feel a mix of excitement and trepidation. They had made an incredible discovery, but also a dangerous enemy. Whatever came next, one thing was certain: humanity's place in the galaxy would never be the same. The chase begins. The UES Horizon limped through space, its hull bearing the scars of its recent encounter with the Krell. Captain Elena Rodriguez stood at the viewport in her ready room, staring at the stars streaking by as they pushed their damaged engines to the limit. Earth needed to be warned about the Krell threat and the incredible technology they'd discovered. A chime at her door broke her reverie. "Enter," she called out. Commander Jack Rees stepped in, his face grim. "Captain, we've got a problem." Elena sighed. "Just one, Jack? I'd say we've got a whole heap of them." Rees managed a wry smile before continuing. "True enough. But this one's pressing. Our long-range sensors have picked up multiple signatures on an intercept course. The energy readings match the Krell ships we encountered." Elena's blood ran cold. "They're pursuing us? How many?" "At least a dozen, maybe more. They'll overtake us in approximately 6 hours at our current speed." Elena closed her eyes, taking a deep breath to center herself. When she opened them again, they were filled with determination. All right. Looks like our friends weren't content with a tactical retreat. Gather the senior staff in the conference room. We need a plan. 10 minutes later, Elena stood at the head of the conference table, looking at the tired but resolute faces of her crew. Ladies and gentlemen, we find ourselves in a precarious situation, she began. The Krell are coming, and in greater numbers than before. We can't outrun them, and even with our enhanced shields and weapons, we can't hope to win in a straight fight. Ideas. Dr. Marcus Adebayo, still buzzing with nervous energy, spoke up first. Captain, the data we downloaded from the station, there's so much we haven't even begun to decipher. If we had more time, we might find something else to give us an edge. Lieutenant Sarah Chen shook her head. Time is the one thing we don't have, Doctor. But, she paused, a thoughtful look crossing her face. What if we could buy some? Elena leaned forward, intrigued. I'm listening, Lieutenant. Chen pulled up a stellar map on the room's main display. We're approaching the Theta Cygni system. It's got a dense asteroid field that could provide cover and interfere with the Krell's sensors. If we can lose them in there, it might give us the time we need to dig deeper into the alien data. Lieutenant Kovacs, the tactical officer, nodded appreciatively. Good thinking, Chen. I can rig up some sensor buoys to emit false signatures, make it look like we've split up. Might force them to divide their forces. Elena felt a spark of hope ignite in her chest. It wasn't much, but it was a start. All right, make it happen. Reese, I want damage control teams working around the clock. Every system, every bulkhead. I want this ship in the best shape possible before we hit that asteroid field. As the crew dispersed to their tasks, Elena caught Dr. Adebayo's arm. Marcus, I need you and your team to go through that alien data with a fine-toothed comb. Weapons, propulsion, anything that might give us an advantage. We're going to need every edge we can get. Marcus nodded, his eyes gleaming with the prospect of unraveling more alien secrets. We won't let you down, Captain. The next few hours were a flurry of activity as the Horizon prepared for the coming storm. Elena paced the bridge, watching the tactical display as the distance between them and their pursuers steadily shrank. Asteroid field in visual range, Captain, Chen reported, her voice tense. Elena nodded. Take us in, nice and easy. Kovacs, deploy the sensor buoys. The Horizon glided into the asteroid field, immediately buffeted by gravitational eddies and magnetic interference. Massive chunks of rock and ice drifted past, some larger than the ship itself. Buoys away, Kovacs announced, generating false signatures. Now. On the tactical display, a dozen phantom ships seemed to peel away from the horizon, each heading in a different direction through the asteroid field. Now we wait, Elena murmured, her eyes fixed on the approaching Krell's signatures. The minutes ticked by with agonizing slowness. Finally, the Krell fleet entered the system. They're splitting up, Chen exclaimed. Looks like they're taking the bait. Elena allowed herself a small smile. Good, but they'll figure it out eventually. Helm, take us deeper into the field. Let's find somewhere to hide and lick our wounds. As the Horizon navigated the treacherous asteroid field, Elena couldn't shake the feeling that they were missing something. The Krell's single-minded pursuit seemed off somehow. They were clearly a spacefaring race, likely with territory spanning multiple systems. Why expend so much effort chasing down one ship? Her musings were interrupted by an urgent call from engineering. Captain, we've got a problem. Chief Engineer Yuki Tanaka's voice crackled over the comm. The alien modulation system we integrated, it's destabilizing our warp core. If we don't find a way to balance it soon, we could be looking at a breach. Elena's heart sank, out of the frying pan and into the fire. Understood, Chief. Do what you can. Dr. Adebayo is working on deciphering more of the alien data. Coordinate with him, see if there's anything in there that can help. As if on cue, Marcus's excited voice came over the comm. Captain, I think I found something. It's not much, but there are references to some kind of hidden outpost in this system. If we could find it, maybe we could. A violent impact rocked the ship, cutting Marcus off mid-sentence. Elena was nearly thrown from her chair. "Report," she barked. Kovacs's fingers flew over his console. Krell's ship dead ahead. They must have detected our engine's signature. Our shields absorbed most of the hit, but we can't take many more like that. Elena's mind raced. They couldn't run, couldn't hide, and a prolonged fight would only draw more Krell to their position. Then an idea struck her. "The outpost," she said, more to herself than the crew. Then, louder, Chen scanned for any anomalies in the asteroid field, anything that doesn't fit the natural formation. Chen worked feverishly, her eyes darting across her readouts. Another blast rocked the ship. "Shields down to 40%, Kovacs shouted. "There," Chen exclaimed suddenly. "About 500,000 kilometers to port. There's a gravitational anomaly. Could be artificial." Elena didn't hesitate. "Helm, set course. Full impulse. Kovacs, give them everything we've got. We just need to hold them off a little longer." The horizon surged forward, weaving through the asteroid field with a grace that belied its size. The Krell ship pursued, its weapons lashing out at them. The bridge shook with each impact, systems flickering as power was diverted to shields and engines. As they approached the anomaly, Elena saw it, a massive asteroid, easily dwarfing the horizon. But something about it seemed off. "Scan it," she ordered. Chen's console beeped insistently. "Captain, it's hollow, and I'm detecting an energy signature similar to the station we found. This has to be the outpost." Elena allowed herself a moment of triumph before refocusing. "Get us inside. Now." The helmsman skillfully maneuvered the horizon towards what looked like a gaping maw in the asteroid's surface. As they drew closer, energy fields flickered to life, parting to allow them entry. "The Krell ship is still on our tail," Kovacs warned. Elena gripped her chair. "Steady, steady." The horizon slipped inside the asteroid, the energy fields snapping shut behind them. A tremendous impact shook the entire structure. The Krell ship, unable to stop in time, had slammed into the asteroid's surface. For a moment, there was silence on the bridge. Then systems began to come to life all around them. Holographic displays flickered into existence, showing readouts in the same alien language they've encountered on the station. "My God," Marcus breathed, having just arrived on the bridge. "It's another precursor facility. But this one, it's not abandoned. It's active." As the crew stared in awe at their surroundings, Elena felt a mix of relief and apprehension. They'd escaped the Krell, for now, but they'd also stumbled into something far bigger than they could have imagined. "All right, people," she said, her voice cutting through the stunned silence. "Let's find out what this place is and how we can use it to get out of this mess. Our mission just got a lot more complicated." As the crew set about exploring their new surroundings, Elena couldn't shake the feeling that they'd just taken their first steps into a much larger galaxy, one filled with wonders and dangers beyond their wildest dreams. Whatever came next, she knew that the fate of humanity might well rest on what they discovered here, in this hidden outpost among the stars. Unlikely allies. The interior of the precursor outpost hummed with ancient energy, its cavernous halls a maze of advanced technology that left even the horizon's most brilliant minds baffled. Captain Elena Rodriguez stood at the center of what appeared to be a control room, surrounded by her senior staff and a dizzying array of holographic displays. "Status report," Elena commanded, her voice echoing in the vast chamber. Dr. Marcus Adebayo, his eyes wide with wonder, spoke first. "Captain, this facility, it's beyond anything we could have imagined. The technology here makes the station we found look primitive by comparison, and it's all still functional." Lieutenant Sarah Chen nodded in agreement. "The outpost systems integrated with the horizon almost immediately. Our damaged systems are being repaired as we speak, and the power output, it's off the charts. Elena allowed herself a small smile. Perhaps their luck was finally turning. What about defenses? Can we hold off the Krell if they find a way in? Lieutenant Kovacs, who had been examining what looked like a weapons console, grinned. Oh, we can do more than hold them off, Captain. This place has enough firepower to take on an entire fleet. And with the enhanced shields, well, we're as safe as houses in here. Don't get overconfident, Elena warned. The Krell are persistent, and we still don't fully understand this technology. Commander Reeves, what's our situation outside? Reeves pulled up an external view on one of the holographic screens. The Krell ship that followed us in was destroyed on impact, but we've got more incoming. They're searching the asteroid field systematically. It's only a matter of time before they find this place. Elena nodded grimly. They had bought themselves some time, but they were still far from safe. All right, our priority is to understand this outpost and its capabilities. Dr. Adebayo, I want you and your team to focus on deciphering the precursor language. Lieutenant Chen, work on integrating our systems more fully with the outpost. Kovacs, familiarize yourself with those weapons. We may need them sooner rather than later. As the crew dispersed to their tasks, Elena felt a nagging sense of unease. Something about this situation felt off. The Krell's relentless pursuit, the convenient discovery of this outpost, it was as if they were being maneuvered by an unseen hand. Her musings were interrupted by an urgent call from Marcus. Captain, you need to see this. We've managed to access some kind of historical database. It's incredible. Elena hurried over to where Marcus was working, his fingers flying over an alien interface. What have you found, Doctor? Marcus looked up, his face a mixture of awe and concern. The precursors, Captain, they weren't just some long-dead alien race. They were galactic gardeners, cultivators of life, and humanity, we're one of their experiments. The implications hit Elena like a physical blow. Are you saying we were created by the precursors? Marcus shook his head. Not created, exactly. More like guided. They seeded countless worlds with life, nudged evolution in certain directions. Earth was one of their projects, but something went wrong. They disappeared before their work was complete. Elena's mind reeled with the revelations. And the Krell. Where do they fit into all this? Before Marcus could answer, an alarm blared through the outpost. Chen's voice came over the comm, tight with tension. Captain, we've got a problem. A big one. Elena raced back to the control room, where a massive holographic display showed the space around the asteroid. Her heart sank at the sight. Dozens of Krell ships had arrived, forming a blockade around the entire asteroid field. They found us, Reeves said grimly. Elena was about to order battle stations when something unexpected happened. A new ship appeared on the display, unlike anything they had seen before. It was sleek, almost organic in design, and it radiated power. Unknown vessel approaching, Chen reported, her voice filled with confusion. It's hailing us, Captain, and the Krell. Elena straightened her uniform, steeling herself for whatever came next. On screen, the holographic display shifted, revealing a sight that took Elena's breath away. The being before them was clearly alien, but possessed an ethereal beauty. Its form seemed to shimmer and shift, as if not fully anchored in reality. Greetings, children of Earth and Krell. The being spoke, its voice resonating not just through the speakers, but seemingly in their minds as well. I am Zarfalax, a watcher of the precursors. We have been observing your conflict with great interest. Elena found her voice first. I am Captain Elena Rodriguez of the UES Horizon. We mean no harm. We're on a mission of peaceful exploration. The Krell commander's harsh voice cut in. Irrelevant. The humans have trespassed in our space and stolen precursor technology. They must be punished. Zarfalax raised a hand, and both Elena and the Krell fell silent. Peace. There has been a misunderstanding. The technology you both seek was never meant for one race alone. The precursors left these gifts for all their children to be used when the time was right. Elena's mind raced with the implications. You're saying this technology, these outposts, they're meant for us, for all of us. Zarthalax nodded, a gesture surprisingly human. Indeed, the precursors foresaw great challenges in the galaxy's future, challenges that would require cooperation between races to overcome. This conflict between you is unfortunate, but perhaps necessary. It has brought you together, as was intended. The Krell commander sputtered in disbelief. Cooperate. With these primitives, impossible. Elena, however, saw an opportunity. Perhaps not impossible, she said carefully. We've already proven we can use this technology effectively. Maybe we could learn from each other. Zarthalax's form seemed to brighten. Wisdom from the younger race. This is why the precursors had such hope for humanity. The being turned to the Krell. And you, children of Krell, your strength and determination are admirable, but rigidity leads to stagnation. There is much you could learn from these humans. For a long moment, silence reigned. Elena held her breath, acutely aware that the fate of not just her crew, but possibly her entire species, hung in the balance. Finally, the Krell commander spoke, its voice grudging but no longer hostile. Perhaps there is some merit in this. A temporary cooperation to understand the precursor legacy. Elena felt a wave of relief wash over her. We would be honored to work alongside the Krell in this endeavor, she said, hoping her diplomatic skills were up to the task. Zarthalax nodded approvingly. Then it is settled. I will remain to guide you in the early stages of this alliance. There is much to learn and little time. The challenges the precursors foresaw, they approach more rapidly than anticipated. As the reality of the situation sank in, Elena felt a mix of excitement and trepidation. They had not only made first contact, but were now on the brink of an interstellar alliance. And looming over it all was the ominous warning of coming challenges. Well then, Elena said, straightening her shoulders, let's get to work. We have a galaxy to save, it seems. As humans and Krell began the tentative first steps towards cooperation, guided by the enigmatic Zarthalax, Elena couldn't help but feel that this was only the beginning. The true test of this unlikely alliance was yet to come, and the fate of the galaxy would rest on their ability to overcome their differences and work together. The precursor outpost hummed with renewed energy, as if awakening to its true purpose after eons of slumber. Humanity's place in the cosmos had changed forever, and Elena knew that the real adventure was only just beginning. The grand battle. Months had passed since the formation of the unlikely alliance between humans and Krell under the guidance of Zarthalax. The precursor outpost had become a hub of frenetic activity, a melting pot of ideas and technologies as the two species worked to unlock the secrets left behind by their ancient benefactors. Captain Elena Rodriguez stood in the newly established war room, surrounded by a mix of human and Krell officers. The atmosphere was tense, filled with a sense of impending doom. Report, Elena commanded, her voice steady despite the gravity of the situation. Grokthar, the Krell commander who had once been their enemy and was now a trusted ally, stepped forward. His bony plates clicked as he moved, a sound that had once set the humans on edge, but was now oddly comforting in its familiarity. The Void Horde approaches, Captain, Grokthar rumbled, his multiple eyes blinking in sequence. Our long-range sensors detect thousands of ships, unlike anything we've ever encountered. Elena nodded grimly. The Void Horde, the great threat that the precursors had foreseen, a swarm of interconnected synthetic beings bent on consuming all organic life in the galaxy. It was the reason for the precursors' great plan, the purpose behind the hidden outposts and the carefully guided evolution of species like humans and Krell. Time to arrival? Elena asked, though she dreaded the answer. Lieutenant Sarah Chen, working seamlessly alongside her Krell counterpart, responded, 12 hours, Captain. They'll reach the outer defense perimeter in 10. Elena took a deep breath, steeling herself for what was to come. All right, this is what we've been preparing for. Grokvar, status on the fleet. The Krell commander pulled up a holographic display of their combined forces. The integration of precursor technology is complete. We have 500 ships, a mix of human, Krell, and newly constructed precursor designs. It's an impressive force, but we're still outnumbered at least 20 to 1. Elena finished for him. We'll have to make every ship count. Dr. Marcus Adebayo, who had been working tirelessly to understand the most advanced precursor weapons, spoke up. Captain, we've managed to outfit the Horizon with the latest precursor tech. The Nova Cannon is operational, but we've only got enough power for one shot. After that, the ship will need time to recharge. Elena nodded. The Nova Cannon, a weapon capable of unleashing the power of a supernova in a concentrated beam. It was their ace in the hole, but using it would leave them vulnerable. We'll save it for when it counts, Elena decided. What about the planetary defense grid? Lieutenant Kovacs, now an expert in precursor weapon systems, pulled up another display. Online and at full power, Captain. The energy shields should be able to withstand significant bombardment, and the surface-to-space batteries are primed. Elena allowed herself a small smile. They had done all they could to prepare. Now it was time to face the music. All right, people, this is it. The moment the precursors prepared us for. Humanity, Krell, we're the last line of defense for this galaxy. Let's show the Void Horde what we're made of. As the war room erupted into activity, Elena felt a presence beside her. Zarthalax, the precursor watcher, had materialized. You've done well, Elena, the ethereal being said, its voice echoing in her mind. But the true test is yet to come. The fate of countless civilizations rests on this battle. Elena nodded, the weight of responsibility heavy on her shoulders. We won't let you down. We won't let the galaxy down. Hours later, Elena stood on the bridge of the Horizon, now a hybrid of human ingenuity and precursor technology. Through the viewscreen, she could see the combined fleet, a mix of sleek human ships, angular Krell vessels, and the organic curves of precursor craft. The Void Horde has entered the system, Chen reported, her voice tense. Elena took a deep breath. All ships, battle formations, remember the plan. We hit them hard, we hit them fast, and we don't let up. The space before them seemed to darken as the Void Horde arrived. A roiling mass of black ships, more like a swarm of insects than a proper fleet. They moved with unnatural synchronization, a single mind controlling countless bodies. All ships, open fire, Elena commanded. The battle erupted in a dazzling display of destructive force. Beams of energy lanced out from the Allied fleet, tearing into the front lines of the Void Horde. Swarms of fighters engaged in a deadly dance, weaving between capital ships as they exchanged fire. The Horizon shuddered as it took a hit, but the precursor shields held firm. Elena gripped her chair, calling out orders as the battle raged around them. The Ally forces fought with everything they had, that unlikely partnership proving to be a formidable combination. But the Void Horde was relentless. For every ship they destroyed, 2 more seemed to take its place. Slowly but surely, they began to push through the defensive lines. Captain, we've lost the outer perimeter. Kovacs shouted over the din of battle. They're breaking through. Elena's mind raced. They needed to turn the tide, and fast. Grokvar, she called to the Krell commander's ship. Execute maneuver Theta. We need to regroup. The Ally fleet moved in perfect synchronization, a testament to the bonds forged between the once hostile species. They fell back to a secondary defensive position, drawing the Void Horde into a carefully prepared kill zone. Now, Elena ordered. Hidden weaponry in nearly asteroids came to life, catching the Void Horde in a devastating crossfire. Thousands of enemy ships were vaporized in an instant, but still they came. As the battle reached its fever pitch, Elena knew it was time. Charge the Nova Cannon, she commanded. All ships, prepare to clear a firing lane. The Horizon's systems hummed as power was diverted to the superweapon. The Allied fleet moved in concert, carving a path through the enemy swarm. Nova cannon at full charge, Marcus reported. Elena took a deep breath. This was it. Everything hinged on this moment. Fire. A beam of pure energy, brighter than a sun, erupted from the horizon. It lanced through space, cutting a swath of destruction through the heart of the Void Horde. Ships disintegrated by the thousands, unable to withstand the awesome power of the precursor weapon. For a moment, there was silence. Then, a cheer went up across the Allied fleet. The Void Horde's advance had been halted, its numbers decimated. But Elena knew the battle wasn't over. The remaining enemy ships regrouped, preparing for a final, desperate assault. "This is it," Elena said to her crew, to the fleet, to all those fighting to save the galaxy. "One last push. For our homes, for our future, for all life in this galaxy. Attack." The Allied fleet surged forward, unleashing everything they had left. The space around them erupted in a symphony of destruction as the final battle for the fate of the galaxy began in earnest. As Elena watched her unlikely alliance fight with unwavering determination, she allowed herself to hope. Whatever the outcome, they had proven that the precursor's faith in them had not been misplaced. In the face of annihilation, life, in all its diverse forms, had come together to make it stand. The battle raged on, its outcome still uncertain, but one thing was clear. This day would be remembered for eons to come, no matter who emerged victorious. A new era dawns. The aftermath of the grand battle hung in space like a glittering shroud. Debris from countless ships, both Allied and Void Horde, drifted silently against the backdrop of stars. The UES Horizon, battered but unbroken, maintained a vigil over the hard-won battlefield. On the bridge, Captain Elena Rodriguez stood before the viewscreen, her uniform scorched and torn, a testament to the ferocity of the conflict. The faces of her crew reflected a mix of exhaustion and disbelief. They had done it. Against all odds, they had emerged victorious. "Status report," Elena said, her voice hoarse from hours of shouting orders. Lieutenant Chen, her console still sparking from battle damage, responded. "The remaining Void Horde ships have retreated from the system, Captain. Long-range scans show them breaking apart. Without their central consciousness, they seem to be losing cohesion." Elena nodded, allowing herself a small smile. The Nova Cannon's strike had not only decimated the Horde's numbers, but had also somehow severed the link between the synthetic beings. It was more than they could have hoped for. "Casualties?" she asked, bracing herself for the answer. Commander Reeves, his arm in a makeshift sling, consulted a datapad. "We lost about 40% of our fleet, Captain. The Krell suffered similar losses, but considering what we were up against," he trailed off, shaking his head in wonder. "And the Horizon?" Elena prompted. Chief Engineer Tanaka's voice crackled over the comm. "We're holding together, Captain, but only just. The Nova Cannon's discharge fried half our systems. It'll take weeks, maybe months, to get her back to full capacity." Elena absorbed the information, feeling the weight of command more keenly than ever. They had won, yes, but at a terrible cost. As if sensing her thoughts, Grokvar's face appeared on the viewscreen. Captain Rodriguez, the Krell commander, rumbled, his usually stern features softened with what Elena had learned to recognize as respect. "The Krell Dominion owes you and your crew a great debt. Without your leadership, without the strength of our alliance, this day would have ended very differently." Elena nodded acknowledgement. "The debt is mutual, Commander. This victory belongs to all of us, human, Krell, and the legacy of the precursors." As if summoned by her words, Zarthalax materialized on the bridge, its ethereal form seeming more substantial than ever before. "Well done, children of Earth and Krell," the precursor watcher intoned, its voice resonating with pride. "You have succeeded where many thought you would fail. The threat of the Void Horde is not entirely eliminated, but you have struck a blow that will echo through the ages. Elena stepped forward, her chin raised. What happens now? Where do we go from here? Zarthalax's form shimmered as it considered the question. That, Captain Rodriguez, is for you to decide. The precursors left their legacy not to control the younger races, but to give them the tools to forge their own destiny. You have proven yourselves worthy inheritors of that legacy. The implications of Zarthalax's words hung heavy in the air. Elena exchanged glances with her crew, and with Grokthar on the screen. The future stretched before them, vast and unknown. There is much to be done, Elena said finally. Rebuilding, healing, and beyond that, exploration. There's so much of the galaxy we haven't seen, so many mysteries left to uncover. Grokthar nodded, his multiple eyes blinking in sequence. The Krell Dominion would be honored to continue our alliance, to face these challenges together. Elena felt a surge of hope and excitement. This was more than just the end of a battle. It was the dawn of a new era for both their species. Then let's make it official, she declared. A formal alliance between Earth and the Krell Dominion. We'll establish diplomatic relations, exchange technology and knowledge. Together, we'll rebuild what was lost and push further into the unknown. Zarthalax's form began to fade, but its voice lingered. Remember, the gifts of the precursors are not meant for you alone. As you explore, you will find other races, other children of our legacy. Guide them, help them grow. The greatest challenges often require the greatest diversity of thought and ability. As the precursor watcher vanished, Elena felt a renewed sense of purpose. She turned to her crew, seeing the same determination reflected in their eyes. All right, people, we've got work to do. Let's get the horizon patched up and ready for the journey home. We have quite a story to tell. In the days and weeks that followed, news of the great battle and the alliance with the Krell spread throughout human space. The UES Horizon returned to Earth as heroes, bearers of technologies and knowledge that would revolutionize human civilization. The formal signing of the Human-Krell Alliance took place on neutral ground, the precursor outpost where it had all begun. Representatives from Earth and the Krell Dominion gathered to lay the foundation for a new galactic order. As Elena watched the proceedings, standing alongside Grokthar, she marveled at how far they had come. From first contact to mortal enemies to steadfast allies, all in the span of a few months. Quite a change from our first meeting, she remarked to the Krell commander. Grokthar made a sound that Elena had learned was laughter. Indeed, I must admit, I find your species far more intriguing as allies than as adversaries. Elena smiled, the feelings mutual. So, what's next for the intrepid Commander Grokthar? Back to the Krell Dominion. The Krell shook his head, a gesture he had picked up from the humans. Actually, I've been given command of a joint exploration mission. We'll be venturing beyond known space, seeking out new civilizations that might need our guidance. I was rather hoping you and the Horizon might join us. Elena's heart leaped at the prospect. This was what she had joined the Earth Space Force for, the thrill of discovery, the chance to make a difference on a cosmic scale. Try and stop me, she grinned. As the alliance was formally ratified, Elena's mind raced with the possibilities that lay ahead. New worlds to explore, new races to meet, and always the lingering mysteries of the precursors to unravel. The battle against the Void Horde had been won, but Elena knew it was only the beginning. Whatever challenges the universe had in store, humanity would face them not alone, but as part of a greater galactic community. As she looked out at the assembled delegates, at the mix of human and Krell faces filled with hope and determination, Elena felt a profound sense of optimism. The future was uncertain, yes, but it was also bright with promise. A new era had dawned for humanity and for the galaxy at large, and Elena Rodriguez, once a simple starship captain, now a legend in two civilizations, couldn't wait to see what wonders it would bring. The end, or perhaps just the beginning.